Good evening and welcome to the news. From the National Assembly, the Constitutional Amendment Bill will be debated at second reading today. The body of a fresh story rescued at Periberi. I am not alone on the news tonight. With me on the international scene is Mustafa, and on the sports and weather we have Zoo. Work in the National Assembly resumed this Friday, December 7th from 15 hours. The Constitutional Amendment Bill, a bill to reform our electoral system, will be debated at second reading. This bill and the Declaration of Assets Bill will be presented by the Prime Minister, Pravin Kumash Jugnauth. The Constitutional Amendment Bill provides, among others, 63 elected by universal suffrage, 13 by proportional representation, and a maximum of 10 additional seats. As for the Declaration of Assets Bill, it aims to repeal the current law, a bill that increases the categories of people who have to declare their assets. Among the councillors, executives of local communities, those are the heads of parastatal bodies, as well as advisors working with ministers on a contractual basis. A 63-year-old French tourist drowned. His body was fished in the lagoon of Periberi in the morning of 6th of December, around 11 hours. According to the report, his name is Marcel Van Dalen. He lived in a hotel in the area. The body was transported to the morgue for autopsy purposes. The police has initiated an investigation to establish the exact circumstances of the tragedy. Now over to Mustafa for the international news.
Thank you, Evans. Good morning, everyone. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says his government had no involvement in the arrest of a top executive from Chinese telecoms giant Huawei. Meng Wanzhou, Huawei's chief financial officer and the daughter of its founder, was detained at Vancouver Airport on a US extradition request. China has demanded her release, calling the arrest a human rights violation. The charges have not been made public. Huawei said it was not aware if any wrongdoing by Mrs. Meng. The faces a bail hearing on Friday. The arrest comes at a sensitive time for US-China relations. The nations are locked in a trade war that was screened off in both studies on billions of dollars of one another's goods. Ms. Meng was detained on Saturday, the same day US President Donald Trump and China's President Xi Jinping met at the G20 summit in Argentina and later reached a temporary truce in their trade battle. Huawei arrested hostage in a new tech war, a quick guide to the US-China trade war, but the arrest has arranged China and threatens to flame tensions with the US. Earlier reports suggested that Ms. Meng's arrest could be related to a US investigation into a possible violation of sanctions against Iran. US National Security Advisor John Bolton declined to comment on this when questioned by journalists. Instead, he said that, generally speaking, he had enormous concerns over Chinese firms' business practices and their possible operations as arms of the government. In Paris Museum, Eiffel Tower is to close on Saturday amid fears of further street violence from yellow vests and anti-government protests. Authorities across France braced Thursday for the possibility of more riots and violence at anti-government protests this weekend, holding emergency meetings and deploying tens of thousands of police and security forces. Museums, streets, theaters, and shops in Paris announced they would close Saturday as a precaution, including the city's famed Eiffel Tower. Prime Minister Edouard Philippe told senators Thursday that the government will deploy exceptional security measures for the protests in Paris and elsewhere, with additional new forces on top of. Speaking on TF1 television, Philippe said 18,000 police officers will be deployed on Saturday across France. They will be equipped with a dozen of armored vehicles, at first in the French urban area since 2005. Macron agreed to abandon the full tax hike, part of his plans to combat global warming, but protesters' demands have now expanded to other issues hurting French workers, retirees, and students, and in a more questioned by both critics and supporters, the president himself has disappeared from public view. The Prime Minister reiterated the government's plan to scrap a fuel tax raise planned by the previous government because of its external tensions France is facing. No tax deserves to put civil peace in danger, Philippe said. Now we are back to events.
Thank you, Mustafa. On the entertainment scene, Kure International Festival at the Mayabong Waterfront. The 15th edition of the Kure International Festival continues this Sunday. The Ministry of Tourism will meet at the Mayabong Waterfront for a regatta and Kilina Festival. The event will start at 10 a.m. The goal remains the promotions of Kure culture, and artisanal sales expo is also on the program with the participation of about 50 exhibitors. Shagam Festival, contemporary dance enhanced. The Shagam Festival is in the second edition. Shagam is an ode to contemporary dance. This project is supported by the National Arts Fund. At the launch of the festival at the Nelson Mandela Center yesterday, Wednesday, 7th December, the Minister of Arts and Culture invited artists who have artistic projects to address his ministry. I now hand you over to Zoo for the sport and weather news.
Thank you, Evans. Well, this is the sport news, and then I am going to talk about the weather in Mauritius. World Football's governing body FIFA announced it will not pay compensation European clubs, unhappy about to play to the 2022 World Cup in November and December. And then Marco Asensio Tobal and Javi Sanchez Dabat called Ernet a 3-0 half-time lead at Benet Belebo. He scored and turned at the two more before Melilla. A teeny Spanish Autumn's enclave in North Africa scored from striker Yasin Kasmis, 81st minute penalty. Finally, Greek government has suspended the country's professional football league because of the violence during match next season, unless clubs introduced security measures such as smart card ticketing. So this is the weather news. The minimum temperature will be between 20 and 22 degrees Celsius over the central plateau and will vary between 23 and 26 degrees Celsius along the coastal weather over the whole island tomorrow morning. The sky will become temporarily cloudy in the afternoon over the western part of the island and over the central plateau with local showers. The showers will be moderate at times, accompanied by isolated thunderstorms. The maximum temperature will be above the seasonal mean, that is between 29 degrees Celsius over the high ground and 30 to 33 elsewhere. Wind and variable tonight, blowing from the eastern sector 15 kilometers per hour. Today, see moderate beyond the waves. So that's all for today, and was going to finish our news today.
Thank you very much, too. And from the news desk, that's all for tonight. And we say have a wonderful night rest. Thank you.